our gallery.
Icebreaker question is, if you had 25 hours in every day, what would you do with the extra time? So I'm Brian, a fractional CTO and business consultant, and I would probably sleep the extra. Honestly, probably sleep. So we'll go around the room. Ed, what do you got?
Okay, Ed McCutcheon from Truity Digital, and you stole my question. I would sleep an extra, which I almost did today. I'd sleep an extra hour.
Same. Okay.
We're glad you didn't, and you're here.
Yeah.
You want to do it, Tom?
Tom, good morning.
Good morning. Okay, I'm having a little bit of problem with hearing, especially Brian when you were up front or closer to.
Yeah.
Sorry, you should be able to hear us better now.
Yeah, much better. Tom Tregesser, Applied Technologies Group. If I had an extra 25 hours a week, I think I'd have to try to find some sort of ambition to move me out of the house. I'm getting used to this, and I'm getting heavy and lazy, and I probably would use a considerable amount of it to sleep. Feel like a bear. Okay.
Thanks, Tom. Chad.
My name is Chad Keith with Atlas Solutions. If I had an extra hour in the day, I would read more. I would read another hour.
And Michelle.
Michelle Johnson, Next Wave Services. I would probably work out because I'm not doing that now, so I feel like I should use it.
Good morning, Debbie.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. Good.
I would like to say I would exercise, and I also like Chad's answer of reading. But in the end, you probably end up sleeping. So I think they're all really very viable answers.
She's going for the honest answer in the end.
And Debbie, you're with All Things Today, right?
Things Today.
Things Today, sorry.
Yes. Sorry.
All right.
I should have
And
introduced.
so with that, thank you all for being here. Please do help spread the word. I'm hoping we can boost the virtual membership more and more each week as we keep this thing going here. We're still limited to 10 people at the hub, but we're getting there slowly but surely. But without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Jason with All Forward, and you can tell us what you do with an extra hour, and then take it away from there, sir.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Let me make sure I'll answer that question, but make sure my technical skills here work. Let me make sure I can share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
How about that? Okay. So as far as the icebreaker, you guys stole a lot of mine. I think I would say that I would go hiking because that's kind of my hobby of choice these days. I like to go hiking. Or exercise, as Michelle said, but the reality is I'm not exercising with the 24 hours that I currently have. So I'm not sure that if you gave me one more that I would actually do anything more productive with it. But there's hope. So that's what I would think I would like to do is go hiking.
None of us said work.
Yeah. But we all thought.
I think we all probably work enough.
We all got it.
That would be my guess. Excuse me. So I can dive right in here. I believe I know the rules of engagement is a 6-minute presentation. And so what I've done here is put together just that. Took me about 360 hours to put together 360 seconds. But hopefully it will help you understand what we do in our business, and definitely looking for some just feedback and insight into how we can grow our business, and just really any feedback. So if you guys are ready, let me get my screen set up here, excuse me, to where I can actually see what I'm doing, and I will take it away. So let's see here. There we go. Okay, so let's make sure you hold me to 6 minutes, Brian. You cut me off if I get carried away here.
Will do.
So I premiered our story here, and I kind of did this to be a little bit funny, but our story here, I do want to tell you that we're going to begin with an action scene for this 360-second production, because that's how all great productions start. So for me, I'm going to start out with a whitewater rafting scene. So if you see right here, this is actually me. Hopefully you can see this in the middle, smiling at the camera, quite obnoxiously, having a blast. And then to the right is my friend Jessica. And if you can see her facial expression, she's actually not smiling, and she's not having a very fun time. And this is actually one of the things that I really love about whitewater rafting, which is something I don't do as much as I used to, but I do it, is that whitewater rafting, you get basically two things at once. It evokes incredible joy and incredible terror at the same time. And I find that quite exciting. And so in starting our business, we felt like this is exactly like running a business, right? So we kind of came up with this idea because when you run a business, at least most business owners that I know and entrepreneurial leaders, it's like constant moments of simultaneous joy and terror. So to help kind of convince us of that, I want to kind of walk you through three kind of analogies that we came up with that kind of will drive this home. So when you're thinking about rafting, even if you've never rafted, experienced rafters have to master the most basic and utilized stroke, and that's called the forward paddle stroke. And when you think about a business, what we've discovered is that healthy, growing businesses have to master a handful of simple, proven tools that help them clarify, simplify, and achieve their vision. It's not 1,000 tools. It's not 100. It's just a handful of things that you have to do really well. They have to be proven. In rafting, experienced river guides know the capabilities of their crew, and they are positioned properly in the raft. And in businesses, healthy, growing businesses, they need to ensure that you have the right people in the right seats in your business. These are critical things. And the last one I'll just throw out there for you is rafting. When experienced rafters hear the roar of the rapids, they don't turn back. They actually attack the rapids head on. And we've discovered also that healthy growing businesses have to, what we call, enter the danger through open and honest communication. So with all that said, we founded All Forward to help businesses do just that, to move forward, to help them navigate the raging river of entrepreneurial life, business, all things that come with that. And so it seems like sometimes people feel like they're being whisked along, by this current, and they don't have any control over it. We found there are other times where people feel like they're stuck, the raft is stuck up against a raft, and they're just being held there by this unrelenting current. So how do we help businesses gain control and get through these rapids? How do we help them get unstuck? How do we help them move forward? And so what we do, and what our business model is all about, is implementing EOS and helping businesses implement EOS. And the best way for me to illustrate this to you is with a model. And so I want to start by doing this real quickly and walk across these key components. So the model stems from a discovery that all entrepreneurs are struggling with about 136 issues simultaneously. And so we discovered that to the extent that you can actually strengthen 6 key components of your business, all those 136 issues and problems fall into place because they're actually just symptoms of root causes. And so the journey that we take our clients on is the journey to strengthen these 6 key components. And I'm going to walk you through them real quickly so you understand a little bit about what we do. So the first key component is the vision component. So every business, the vision component is about getting everybody in your organization 100% on the same page with where you're going and how you plan to get there. The second key component in the EOS model is the people component. So this goes without saying, but we all know that you can't achieve a great vision without great people. The challenge is that everybody defines great people differently. And so we help our clients cut through all the terminology, the A-list players, the superstars, the top quartile. We help our clients discover what makes for a truly great person in their unique organization. The third key component of the system here is the data component. And the data component is really about running your business on facts and figures, on objective information, rather than emotions, egos, subjective feelings, a lot of the things that a lot of entrepreneurial businesses drive their decision making, unfortunately. So at this point, once we help our clients strengthen just these first three components, what happens in businesses that we work with is they begin to see things that they've never seen before. Their business becomes more transparent and clear, and all these impurities and imperfections and challenges jump out at them. And that leads to the fourth key component, which is the issues component. So when you were talking about strengthening the issues component, we're really just talking about helping organizations get really good at solving their problems. So you can't achieve success as a business if you're not good at that. You've got to be good at setting up your problems, identifying them, knocking them down, and making them go away. So the fifth key component of the EOS model is the process component. Probably the least sexy of the components, but critically important. So process is about getting the most important things in your business done the right and best way every single time. To me, this is so critical because it creates the consistency and the scalability that a lot of businesses are looking for. And quite frankly, what we've discovered, it makes your business easier to manage, and it's more profitable and really more fun because of these processes that you put in place. So the last key component is the traction component. You may know that name from the book Traction by Gino Wickman, which is who designed this model here. But traction is all about bringing your vision to the ground. This is an area where entrepreneurs struggle. They have a great vision, but they have trouble executing on it. Traction is all about executing on the vision day in and day out with discipline and accountability. Vision without traction, as Gino says, is hallucination. So basically, this entire model, these 6 key components, is what we call the Entrepreneurial Operating System. And it's a way of harmonizing and orchestrating all the moving parts of your business. It's about strengthening these 6 key components. And we believe that this is critically important for businesses to have a system like this that can help them run their business. So lastly, who do we help? So the people that we help are entrepreneurial leadership teams. We work with entrepreneurial leadership teams. They're privately held companies. They typically have 10 to 250 employees, and they have to meet some psychographic criteria as well. These teams have to be growth oriented. They have to be wanting help. We're not trying to drag people into something kicking and screaming here. And they have to be willing to be open, honest, and vulnerable. So in our work, we discovered that the companies that benefit most are those who, first of all, their leaders are more afraid of the status quo than they are of change. And they've hit a ceiling, or they feel stuck, and they're kind of looking for the best way to move forward. So where we're focusing a lot of our energy right now is obviously trying to get in front of these people, this demographic, and really just share our story, what we call EOS evangelism. And we're really passionate about this because we really do truly believe, my partner and I, that thriving entrepreneurial businesses really make our communities and our world a better place. It's critical, not just the big giant corporations, but really thriving entrepreneurial companies is what we're going after here. So that's kind of what we do. Where we can use help is just ideas on how can we get in front of the people here that we need to get in front of, and how can we maybe position this a little bit better to gain a little bit more traction and getting more clients. And that's pretty much all I've got for you, and I'm definitely excited to answer any questions that you guys might have.
Good. Thank you very much. Turn it over to questions.
Well, my first question is, where were you rafting at?
That's a good question. So I love to go rafting up in West Virginia on the New River. I have done the Golly as well, and the Nantahala. Nantahala I don't like because it's not that challenging. And then I have traveled out to Colorado and rafted down the Colorado River. But I love going up to the New River, not that far up the road, and have a great trip where you can do the upper New River, lower New River, which is the not so big rapids, and the first day camp out and then do the big rapids on the next day. So yeah, New River, West Virginia, I think about 3 hours and a half from here.
Yeah, I lived in Colorado for 15 years and rafted a lot there. And
Okay.
there's nothing like hearing the sound of a rapid around the bend, and you have no